Okay. Well, that's setting up. I'm going to put on my gloves because it's cold. Okay. We'll start the conversation soon. I'll just let everybody join into the chat as I fix my angles here. Yeah. Glove number uno. Y dos. Funny, I haven't taken Spanish since the 6th grade, and I'm currently a freshman in college, so it's been 7 years. Because there's hair in my mouth. Anyways, as it flies into my mouth. Okay, today's topic, conversation starters, or how to even speak in conversation. I brought this up because when I was walking over to sit behind the chapel in the beautiful, it typically is a beautiful garden, but right now winter, and so everything's dead. Anyways, I was thinking of what type of video I was gonna do, and I realized that honestly, you could have a conversation about anything. You could mention one sentence and it could roll down and pile up into this big conversation, into those conversation black holes where you don't even remember how the conversation started, but you look at your watch and an hour or two has gone by, and you're just standing there remembering how hard it was to start a conversation with this individual. But once you stop thinking of how difficult it is and you relax and you be yourself, the conversation started rolling as if you've been friends forever, rather if you have or have not. If you bring up one thing, and typically it's those weird sentences that just come out of nowhere that start the conversation, and then other topics are brought up which drift the conversation there, and then sometimes the conversation comes back to the topic, but sometimes it doesn't, and that's okay if it doesn't, because there's no conversation rules, to be fair. I know people say there are, but there isn't. There's just ways of speaking that some people prefer more than others. So, right now I'm sitting in this garden, and right now I could tell you how beautiful it is, but I can't show you because currently, due to the weather, if you look at what it looks like now, you're not able to capture the beauty as if you were sitting here in the fall or spring, farther from winter, more closer to summer, but not quite summer yet, because summer it gets too hot to sit out here. But if you're in the fall or spring and you're sitting here, it's a real peaceful thing. And you see how I did there, of how I was able to describe somewhat. I'll show y'all the garden soon, but like I said, the beauty right now isn't there. I can only describe it to you. Sorry, I'm making sure that I'm alone. And you see how I started discussing a topic right there, basically out of nowhere. I was just describing my environment. Okay. Sorry. I'm trying to move the camera. How do we... Okay. So here's the flower in the vase, and this bed of plants is currently all withered away. And if you see in the corner over there, you could somewhat grasp a color of magenta, a shade of red, pink, and purple. But as you can see, the beauty isn't really there anymore, just due to the weather alone. But that doesn't mean that this place isn't beautiful. It still is. It's just, when I came here earlier in the semester and I saw all the colors just here, in a way, it was like those fantasies of those places you see on the internet, and you're like, there's no way those places exist, but they do. You just have to go to the locations at the right time, because if you don't go to the right location at the right time, you get a different perspective of the place that isn't initially captured, because it isn't quote-unquote beautiful to people. It isn't really pleasant to the eye. But that doesn't mean it isn't. That doesn't mean it's not a peaceful place. Obviously, someone's been here, because I had to pick up a hat when I was walking around here to this bench, and I placed it on another bench so it wouldn't get dirty by the gravel here. So yeah. And other sentence starters could... I know people ask about the weather, but if you really go into detail about it, like right over my right shoulder, the sun is blazing, not really blazing, but it's lighting up the place where previously this week the sun wasn't really present, and you could tell because it got really cold. But as the sun's here today, I may not have to wear a lot of layers, but once I go into a shade from a building as I walk a path, I really miss the sun, you know. And so, and then I could talk about how there's no clouds today, but okay, I see some, but last night or even throughout yesterday, there were clouds filling the sky, but it made such a nice pattern that I told my friends as we were walking down the hill, as the sun basically was disappearing into the behind the landscape, I noted how gorgeous the orange to the blue to the black blended in, and how the clouds made this pattern where the sky just seemed so calm, even though it was late at night. Not really late at night, because I believe it was like around 6 actually. It was around 6, but because the sun set so early now, it felt like it was 9 or 8, but it wasn't. It was 6. And then because of that, it brought me to a new discussion, because it reminded me of this painting, because I mentioned how I wanted to paint the sky last night, and it reminded me of my painting that I once painted 2 years ago, which is up on my channel, and it's one of the most popular videos. I'll link it below after this live, and that led to another discussion of how I brought up my channel, what I once did 2 years ago, but yet at the same time it's so relevant. And actually, the half of the painting where I did do the night, it looked like last night. In fact, it even looked more beautiful as of how I incorporated the color blue with black, and how I blended those together. I said in a previous video that if I have nothing to talk about, I wasn't going to force anything, and currently that's all I have for you right now. And sometimes it's just enjoyable to have these sweet, short videos. I know some of y'all said that you do enjoy the long videos, but sometimes short and sweet is sometimes the way to go at some occasions. I'm currently not going to walk around campus because it is quite chilly, and I actually haven't ate today, and so I have to go get food, and then I have to write my papers. But if y'all did enjoy this and you want more content like this, please subscribe and hit the notification bell. Give this video a thumbs up. I really see that one person did, so thank you for that. And be sure to comment down below what was your takeaway from this video, as well as any questions you have for the channel or for me. And we'll see y'all next time. Bye, y'all.